Hello everyone. In this lesson, we will learn about class constructors in C++. What are constructors? Constructors are special member function without a return type in a class. And these constructors are automatically called when an object is created. In the earlier lessons, we saw how an object is created and how we use the access specifiers and getters and setters. So now we will see about constructors. Let's start by copying the previous code. Copy, paste, and rename it to class constructors. Close the existing project. Delete temporary files. Come to source main.cpp. We see that the member functions that we have in a class have a return type like void or float or int as required. But when we write a constructor, it will not have a return type. And the constructor is named after the class. So if I want to create a constructor, I will simply call, write the temperature sensor as my class name and open close bracket. So this is a default constructor. So for default constructor, if I want to initialize my parameter like temperature equal to 0, okay. And next is what I will do. I will make a printf statement and I will mention here that default constructor is called. Then new line carries return and end. Now we can also overload the constructor. So to overload the constructor, we need to mention again. And here what I will do is I will pass a value and I will initialize it. So to initialize it, I will write temperature equal to val. Okay. And I will do a printf statement over here and I will mention the parameterized constructor. Constructor is called new line and carries return, then end. So this is how we create two different constructors and overload it using the parameterized constructor. There is one another copy constructor that we will know in the later sections. But as of now, let's see about these two. So now we have here one object created, that is object sensor. So if I don't use these, I comment it out and I will build this project. Okay, let's see. So unused variable. Okay, now let me just comment this pointer. And if I build it again and run it on my controller, okay, open data term. Let us wait to flash and okay. Now if I press the reset button, so we can see that default constructor is called because we have initialized our default constructor over here. Okay, we have defined it. Now what I want is to show you the parameterized constructor. To so like if I pass the value over here, since we are taking the value, it should well, let's make it as float. Okay, because the temperature is in float, there should not be an ambiguity. And let's build it. So now if we run the function, if we run the application and let us wait for some time. So here I will clear the screen, clear the buffer, and I will press the reset. So here we can see that parameterized constructor is called and not our default constructor. That time we saw that there was a default constructor called, not the parameterized constructor. Okay. So this is how we call it. now let's see uh, how we can pass the values. Okay. So I am creating another the same temperature sensor pointer. Okay. And P sensor will be having the object sensor value. So here what I can do is if I call the printf statement from here, temperature set is, I don't need a setter or getter here because I'm passing a parameterized constructor over here. So now let's build it and let's run it. And see, now let me clear the screen buffer. Let me reset it and see. Now we can see that temperature set is 30. So how it is coming? I am not using any set or get, but it is the default parameters that we set in the constructor that is being called over here. Okay. And similarly, if I don't need this, and for that time, I can set it from here that normal value. So that default constructor will be called. Let's run it once again and let it build and flash. So let me clear the screen, clear the buffer, and when I press the reset, so you see default constructor is called, and the current temperature, since we are reading the from the read function, we are getting the current temperature and temperature set is 50. That is from the get temperature. So that is the default constructor called, and no parameterized constructor is called. So these are the two constructors and how we overloaded it in our class. Thank you.